The Fifth Element for PlayStation 1. Luc Besson's breathtaking futuristic vision comes to PlayStation in a tense 3D adventure. Play as either New York cabbie Corbin Dallas or the mysterious Lilu, a woman who holds the secret to the safety of the entire universe. Released in 1998 for the original PlayStation, I got a feeling this game did not do well. So, straight off the bat, you can probably tell it's not a very good looking game. I mean, yeah, it's the PlayStation 1, right? But 1998, I think we had Metal Gear Solid by this time, Gran Turismo. Like, this sucks. The animation's super stiff, the camera works really crummy, texture works, it's okay-ish, but geez, it's bland looking. The fog, I mean, like, come on, you can tell it's a PlayStation 1 game, right? And there's a PC version of this, but did it really look any better? Just the run, so stiff, so weird looking. And that is not what Bruce Willis looks like, which I didn't play as Lilu, but I can only assume it doesn't look like Mila Jovovich. I did play this on PlayStation 3 hardware, so it's assumed pretty much how this ran on the PlayStation 1. I just couldn't be bothered getting out of the box and plugging it in and doing all that crap because my PS3 was already hooked up. But that's besides the point. It looks terrible. But the frame rate did hold up. I thought that was okay. I mean, it's consistent, so it's got that going for it. A for effort. But that's an A for the frame rate, not the actual graphics themselves. I wouldn't give this an A, so... Bad is the rating? Do I even have a rating system? I didn't think this one through, but let's just move on. So what little sound effects that I actually did come across? I'm pretty sure I've heard them in a whole bunch of other games over the years. Generic, recycled, genericness. Is genericness even a word? I should Google that later. I'm not going to Google that, I'm just going to go with genericness. It's genericness. Might trademark that word if it's not a real thing. Does make sense. Anyway, I didn't think much of the sound. Grunts, generic reload, sound effect, generic firing gun sound effect, some humming noises for pickups and stuff. Like, there is nothing here that would make you go, wow, that's really cool sounding. No, I just didn't pay that much attention to it anyway, because, well, look at it. Seriously, look at it. Even though I'm talking about the listening to it part, so let's, you know what, sound was terrible, let's move on. So I think the video sort of speaks for itself on the controls. Sluggish. It's old school tank controls, which if you're not familiar with tank controls was Resident Evil 1, and I'm sure some other game sort of invented it, but like, if you go back and play Resident Evil 1 now, like, those controls are very sluggish and awful. They now look like gold next to this thing. I can't believe how slow the character turns. There's a very subtle input lag between every action in this game, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with the controller or the console. It's like, I push a jump button, and he does a very slow jump that seems completely useless. It's terrible. I eventually worked out you could do a quick 180 turn, but the camera doesn't help. It's slower than the controls, so there actually isn't any camera control now I think about it. That makes things so much worse. Considering the draw distance is so short, it would be nice to spin the camera and see around some sort of corner, but you can't do that, because there's no control. There's just good old Bruce Sluggish. Bruce Sluggish? No, that's bad. I'm gonna leave this in because I'm dragging the video out so it goes longer than it needs to. Controls sucked. Don't even get me started on the aiming, even though I just started it myself. Because nobody else got me started, I just started it myself. Overthinking this. There's some sort of auto lock on, but there's no real way to know that you're quite pointing at them, all thanks to the camera. So I found, well actually you'll just see it in this footage, I'm shooting just past them all the time, and then eventually just locks on and fires at them. So like, I don't know what that's about, it just didn't make sense. It's just stupid. Like, if it had some sort of aiming reticle on the screen, or a box that locked onto them, and you can understand that, okay, they're in my line of sight, I can fire. It doesn't do that, so that was another downer. Pretty crummy. I couldn't find a reload button either, so I just kept exhausting my gun until it just automatically reloaded. I pushed all the buttons, nothing happened. Yeah, I could have read the booklet, but like, where's the fun in that? The first level should basically introduce you to all the mechanics. This one did not. This one literally told me nothing. I mean, there isn't even anything tutorial about it. I mean, we go through that whole thing now with modern games where they can hold your hand way too much. Push this prompt, now do this, climb this by pushing this button. People get annoyed at that stuff, I can understand it, but then there's this side of the coin where there's absolutely no indication what you're supposed to be actually pushing or doing or where to go, what you're aiming at. I mean, I couldn't even work out if I was supposed to push buttons on consoles. I just sort of fluked that after a while. I couldn't get through a fence, and then I just got annoyed, and so I kicked some robot. But you had to kick the robot because it played a cutscene of it then driving away and crashing into a fence. I'm like, yeah, I get it, that's a natural progression, right? But I literally did that out of frustration. This game's stupid. The controls are stupid. They suck. So when the first level started, and we're on the rooftops, there was just that little hint of the world of Fifth Element. You know, there was, look, there's the flying taxi and some other flying cars and whatever. I mean, actually, why was I even shooting the police, let alone breaking into this place? You know, that bugs me with movie games. They always design them around, it's got to be fun, it's got to be interesting, we've got these mechanics and we have to use them. Now let's put it all into a setting from the movie where it makes no sense because this never happened. There's no part in the movie where he breaks in with a gun and kills a bunch of police officers to save Lilu. I mean, I'm pretty sure she wakes up in that tank and they don't even know each other exist. But yeah, the level design itself, at first on that roof, I thought, okay, this might be kinda cool. There was run around a bit, there's a little bit of jumping, kill some guys, shoot something, cool. Then I dropped into this facility and it was literally just corridor, 90 degrees, corridor, 90 degrees, corridor, 90 degrees, corridor, 90 degrees. You get the point. Generic. Sorry, genericness. Ooh, I'm really going to use that word a lot. Yeah, there's nothing smart going on here. It's really boring stuff. It doesn't feel thought out at all. God, I suppose it's really, that is what movie tie-ins always seem to be. It could be so much more. I mean, who expected this to be good? Well, before it ever came out, I'm sure back in 1998 a lot of people did, because the movie was cool, so hopefully the game's cool. It is not. This just, yeah, there's no thought process whatsoever here. Long corridor, enter room, eventually found a key, maybe push a button. Real top quality genericness. So does the first level sell me on this game? Absolutely not. Did it sell you on the game? I'm just going to answer for you. Absolutely not. Avoid.